Morning, folks. Mike Honan here at Valley Vapors. Today I'm going to be going over the Landmark, the Kaees Landmark tank from Kaees out of China. It is a sub-ohm tank, much like the sub tank or the Nautilus, sorry, not Nautilus, Atlantis or Triton. Probably more comparable to Triton than the other two because of the top fill. This is a great tank. I've had it for about a week and a half. I really like it. They did send me a tank, it was probably a month ago, and it was defective. I guess it made it through quality control. Nobody caught it. Anyway, they sent it to me. I gave it a bad review for obvious reasons. The whole thing was falling apart. It wasn't threaded. So what I should have done was contacted Kaees and said, hey, but I didn't. My bad. And so that being said, they've sent me a new tank. This is a winner. I like this tank. Hits great. I'll do a quick hit so you can watch that right off the bat. Because really that's what it's all about anyway. But to go over some of the features of this tank, comes in a nice little, nicely designed little box here. You know, you get the little box. It's plastic. It's square. It fits together. Okay, so that being said, you get 3 coils. You get a 0.5 ohm, which I do have in this tank. You have a 0.2 ohm. The 0.5 ohm runs for about 20 to 70, no, about 12 to 50 watts. The 0.2 ohm runs from about 20 to 70 watts. And then of course you have a rebuildable right here. This is your rebuildable coil. And so you can just do that. I'm not really into rebuildable coils. Some people are. It's a nice feature, especially sometimes coils can be hard to get depending on the manufacturer and availability and all that kind of thing. So it's nice to have that rebuildable coil, have somebody rebuild it if you can't do it yourself, and you're good to go. So like I say, this thing, another feature of this thing, they do send you a little screwdriver. They send you some cotton for the wick and a little bit of Kanthal and a couple of extra screws. The screws are small, so I'd suggest you get a magnetic screwdriver so it holds on to the coils, although this does a pretty good job. You just mount it on the end of the screw. I took the screws out and put them in just to see how easy it was, and it is pretty easy, but they are tiny, so if you had a magnetic screwdriver, it'd help you out. One of the things I would say with this coil, and I made this mistake the first time, as you can see, that is, it's like a hollow tube. Now, your wick does sit in, on the factory built coils, your wick's on the inside of that. I oversaturated the coil and it really made it gurgle a lot. So you want to make sure if you do oversaturate the coils that you take the coil out of the base of the tank, get down in there, get that out, clean that out, make sure there's not a lot of sitting juice, because with the Kanger and the Aspire, if you're Aspire, Kanger, Aspire, sub tanks, if you're used to those type of coils, they have a base, a little pin in the bottom. This just kind of runs out in the bottom, so it really will gurgle. So you don't want that. You want to make sure you really kind of get the excess e-juice out of the inside of the coil and the base of that, of the tank itself. Get in there, flick it in the garbage or whatever you have to do to clean it up, but clean it out. It'll make a big difference. You won't get that gurgling. I was getting that gurgling and couldn't figure out, so that was my problem. A little bit of a user error there. But that's easily fixable. Just get in there and make sure there isn't any excess juice in there. So the coil saturates really good. They suggest you just let the coil sit in the tank of juice for about 5 minutes, which would do it. They have nice big wick holes. There's 4 wick holes on this, on the coil. So there's plenty of holes for the wick, for the e-juice to wick into the coil. So that's good. But I think the main thing is, I love the tip on this. You can pull the tip off and replace the tip if you want to put your own tip in there. But I love the top fill. And the top fill is super cool. You just depress the top, spin it, and it opens. So then you just fill, you get your e-juice out and fill from the top. So you just drop it right in there. You fill it, put your tank, and boom, it's back. Always make sure you put this back. I've done this a couple times where I've forgotten, tipped the tank over, it spills out. So you want to make sure you spin that back into place, sets in. But anyway, great tank, hits really good. The flavor, I like the flavor. The coil, you know, sometimes you get a weird flavor because of the coil. There's no weird flavor here. It just tastes like the e-juice. I've got this on a 40 watt E-Leaf iStick, I've got it running at 40 watts. I think it hits good. The flavor's good. It's a cool vape. It's not hot at all. The tank is a little bit warm, but still, you're not getting a hot vape. It's really just a nice, smooth, clean hit. The flavor's big. The cloud's big. I really think it's a winner. I mean, I really like it. You know, I've tried the Kaees sub tanks and the Nautilus and Nautilus. I use the Nautilus, but the Aspire, Triton, and the Atlantis, and I think it's comparable. I think it's a really nice device. I love the top fill, much like the Triton. Super simple. Fill it and go. You know, you don't have to take it off and flip it over and unscrew it and blah. You know, it just makes it super convenient. Yeah, so I think it's a winner. I've been also running it on this CF battery, CF Sub Ohm Battery. Sorry, I keep thinking people are walking in because we're going to open here soon. But the CF Sub Ohm Battery is really nice. Also runs. Now, this one thing about these, they say you can run it on a temperature control mod, a variable voltage mod, or a mechanical. So they say all three. I suggest when you ever get into mechanicals, make sure that some of these sub tanks won't run on certain mechanicals. So some of the hybrids, I think it gets a little dicey. So make sure, I'd research it a little bit. Good hit, man. Big cloud, good flavor. What can I say? Hey, it's always fun doing these videos, and I love connecting with people, even if it's digital. What can I say? I like doing the videos, and it's always fun to connect with people. It gets a little bit of feedback, and the few subscribers I have, give them some new information, even if it's my own brand. But I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you later. Adios, amigos.